Hello and welcome back to another news video. This is in regards to a recent Dengeki online interview with Naoki Yoshida, the producer and director of Final Fantasy XIV. This was actually released last Friday, but I took the weekend off, so we're going to address it now. There's some very important information, but we're going to be using the summary that Luna has translated on the Final Fantasy XIV official subreddit Discord. So thank you kindly to you, Luna, for your fantastic translations. Now these are bulleted points, obviously it goes into further detail, but since we've sorted out the interesting points anyway, it saves me the job of actually doing it, so I might as well just read what they put. Apparently Yoshida is considering adding some memory or packet obfuscation system because of people being able to detect the Granite Gal's target with ACT way easier than by looking at the job icon hint shown on the actual mechanic inside the recently added Ultimate battle. He doesn't think it had a big impact since it was early in the fight, however this is something they want to address in the future. They talked about this previously at the last live letter at E3. They want to implement a way to prevent ACT from being able to basically predict the entire fight. It's a bit of a dangerous situation when people are relying on third-party tools to not only track passing, but also to predict elements of fights. At that point we're getting closer to add-ons, which of course they do not want to have in the game, as that is not their vision for this game. So they originally planned to release an Ultimate every odd patch, but a community reaction showed that adding one every 2 patches was way too fast of a release pace, so they're going to be putting Ultimate versions of fights on hiatus for the foreseeable future, and have decided to make it 2 Ultimates per expansion rather than every odd patch. A lot of people are not particularly too happy about this, as many people in the top end raiding scene were actually enjoying having challenging content frequently coming out. But again, this is addressing towards the more casual player, which I don't think is really the audience for that content anyway. I could be wrong, but myself personally, I don't get to do either of the Ultimates currently because I'm not in a static at that point to do it, but I don't feel that they should be taken out of the game. But it is what it is, and they've decided to do 2 per expansion now, so let me know what you think about that below. Apparently they're not going to allow unsync for Ultimate Coil of Bahamut because there's still a lot of people progressing on it. They didn't mention anything about Ultimate in this regard, but Luna assumes from the way he talked that it will be basically the same situation. In regards to the final scene in the storyline for 4.3, Yoshida actually threw away the original cutscene that was envisioned for the mysterious hunter with the masks attached to his belt around his waist because it had too much focus on the white mask, so he himself picked the placement of all the masks and the camera in the new version to make sure it'd be just a hint as to who this person is and to why he's gathering masks. Apparently the Elezen that stole the mech in the cutscene is clearly a new character. Whether this is to spin off away from the proposed idea that this might be Xenos, who knows. Apparently Yoshida pretends that he doesn't know what people are talking about when he was asked on a question about a possible Gunblade job, because, and I quote, "I never said there is a 5.0 patch," which is particularly interesting if you think about it. And then we go into some further details. Apparently they're planning on finishing the Omega Weapon storyline on 4.4, and apparently it will be a surprise to look forward to. They're planning on a graphics overhaul because they don't want Final Fantasy XIV to start looking dated, especially if they want to run it for at least 10 more years, but this will definitely not be done on 5.0. It's a longer term plan than that. The live concert at FanFest will still be paid, only the other game related content will be free. It looks like the concert will not be streamed and will only be available to actually buy a ticket and attend the FanFest in person, which is a bit of a bummer unless you're actually going to one of these FanFests. Personally, even if I was to go, I would still like a digital copy of that. The last FanFest I ended up downloading, and it's on my hard drive, and I like to listen to the concert music every now and again. Hopefully they do record it in some way though, and I'd even buy a DVD version of that if I could. They'd be able to make more money, but there's just an idea. Either way, that was the Dengeki interview that took place last Friday. Obviously this is a little later than I planned it, but I enjoyed my weekend off and I'm back now. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this was interesting to you, and I'll see you all next time.